And good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. This is Mike, and this is Mike Dell's World. What would that be, 174? Yeah, I think it's 174. Oh well, I'll double check it before I upload. So, anyway, coming to you live from my kitchen on the portable recorder setup. I'm cooking myself some pizza. So I gotta kind of stay up here and monitor it for the next, 15 minutes or so. It's okay. Now that I'm talking, now the dog's getting all excited, as you can hear. Well, you probably can't hear it. So anyway, so I gotta let him outside here. Dumb dog. I'm gonna make sure I got the gate closed. Oh man, it's cold out here still. It's 10 degrees. And we haven't really came off of that since this morning. It was about, it got down to like 8 degrees was the low, but then we had lots of wind. So, the wind chill was worse. We still got some wind, but it's up to a whopping 10. I spent the last hour and a half taking snow from where it fell and putting it where it didn't fall. And so I got our big driveway all cleared out. That takes me about, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on whether or not the neighbor's car's parked in their spot or not. And then I go over to my grandmother's and do her walkways. Neighbor over there does her driveways, front and back. She's got a garage out behind the house, and then she's got on the street in front, it's got a little kind of a pull-off deal. And so anyway, then I go over and shovel the walks. So I did that, got all that done, and geez, there's just no time for anything else. So I thought while I was cooking pizza here, I'd at least start a podcast. And I'll eat my pizza and then finish it afterwards. Finish the pizza and the podcast. Probably not at the same time. That'd be rude, wouldn't it? Well, I've been working on a lot of video projects lately. A couple for a client of mine, and then some video projects for my quote-unquote day job. So that's been keeping me busy in the geekery department, learning a new program. I think I talked about it in one of my video podcasts. Might even have talked about it in the last audio podcast, but I got the Corel Video Studio X3, I think it's called. I'm not sitting in front of the computer. Like I said, I'm kind of wandering around the house here as I speak. Oops, and there's the dog barking. See, you put him outside, and then he goes and does what he needs to do, and then he goes and looks out front and then finds something to bark about. So here he is back in the house. So he's done when he starts barking. He doesn't bark to come in. He barks at something going by on the street in front of the house or whatever. And, but that's just the way it goes. But anyway, these video projects, it takes a lot longer than audio, and you can't edit as much. So you kind of got to get it first take or do multiple takes and pick the least worst one. I know that's a double negative, but that just about describes it. But this Corel video software was fairly inexpensive. It's for the Windows platform. I know I've got iMovie on both Macs here, but for my purposes, I actually needed to use the PC because, anyway, I won't go into the specifics, but screen capture software that I have on the PC it come into play, and I had to go ahead and get a decent video editing software, and I got Windows Movie Maker, and that's reasonably okay too. In fact, for one of the projects, that's probably what I'm going to use if I don't use iMovie on the Mac. We'll see when we get to that point in that project. But anyway, it's been interesting. Good, big learning curve for me because I really haven't edited much video since, well, geez, Adobe Premiere 1 or 2. Back, a long time ago. This was when Windows 95 was new. So what would that be, 95, 96, 97, somewhere in that ballpark. I had an old, it was new at the time, but had a video capture card. It was an analog video capture card, and it would capture it to AVI. And I had 2 1-gig hard drives, and I mean, that was cavernous at the time. But what I would do is I would take wedding videos and, of course, edit them for, put titles in and, special stuff. And I did that quite a bit. So, it's not that I've never done video editing. It's just I've never done it recently. That doesn't make sense. I haven't done it recently. There we go. That makes sense. So, like I said, it's kind of a learning curve. Although, a lot of the stuff hasn't really changed. It's just gotten easier and bigger. I'm dealing with 1080p video. Of course, when I post it on YouTube or onto the feed, I finally figured out a format, by the way, for the video feed. So the next Mike Dell's World video that comes out will be in my quote-unquote Mike Dell standard. It's going to be half 720p. So what is that? I want to say 480 by 360. I think that's how that works out. But anyway, it's going to be half the size of 720p in a 16 by 9 format. And all of my cameras will do that, and all the video editing software will do that. So, and Todd over at Geek News Central uses that format for his video podcasts, and it seems to work well. But my base files that I'm using, well, not for my podcast, but for these video projects, are going to be 1080p video. And then I'll use 720 or 1080. Yeah, it's 1080p. It's not 1080i. I don't know. That's still all confusing to me. But anyway, gonna edit in that high res, and then I can squeeze it down and it'll look okay. And then most of the raw video that I'm using for my podcasting is going to be 720p, although I do have some 480 digital 4x3 off of the older flip camera that will, of course, be sort of letterboxed or whatnot. But like I said, when we get into that deep into the archives, I should be making new videos instead of rehashing old ones. But be that as it may, it's an interesting topic. Now, I'm not going to go all video, believe me. That's I love the audio. The audio is easy to do. Like I said, here I am waiting for pizza to come out of the oven, wandering around my kitchen and kind of pacing. And I don't know, I think it sounds pretty good with this setup. It's the same setup I use in the car. Fits in my pocket, and the microphone isn't too ungainly. Although when I go to take the pizzas out, I'm going to have to stop the recording. And looking at my watch, I got about 3 more minutes. So anyway, but yeah, like I said, video is interesting. And if you want to see, some of the videos I've been doing as I've been testing my editing skills, go check out the video feed over at MikeDell.com. And there's some interesting stuff. One that I shot the other day driving out to my friend's house to, he lives way out of town here, northern Michigan and out in the country. And he goes to Arizona for the winter. He forgot a couple of things, so I had to go out to his place and retrieve those and get those shipped off. Well, Jim Farley from the What's Up With That podcast that I do in Musical World that he does. His brother comes up here all the time, so when Jim and I want to transport stuff back and forth between Traverse City and Dayton, Ohio, we send it via Farley Express. And that's Keith. Well, everybody, my dad and Keith and a bunch of the other guys are going out to the Yuma Ham Fest in Yuma, Arizona in February. And John, my buddy there, actually he's my partner from the ham radio classes that we did. But anyway, he doesn't need the items that I retrieved until then, so I'm going to send it out Schneider Express. My dad and a buddy of mine named Al, last name Schneider, are driving out together, and I'll send it with my dad, so we're going to send that Schneider Express. Tad bit cheaper than Federal Express, I guess. I guess they're not even called Federal Express anymore, are they? I think they're just FedEx officially. So anyway, pizza's just about ready to come out of the oven, so I will come back after this song, and I don't know what this song is yet. I'll tell you afterwards, because this is going to be one of those post-edited shows. Catch you in a bit.
Scratch the surface, it's been there all along, just like you saw past me when I thought I was the only one. But time changes everything, spins you round and back again. Time is actually my friend, my friend. It gets so clear how everything narrows. Gotta start shooting at apples with straight arrows. Yeah, time changes everything, spins you round and back again. Time is actually my friend, and we need and I could get angry, but what's the use? So I'll forgive another one and call an uneasy truce to this desire in me that makes little sense. The uneasy horse pacing her fence. Time changes everything, spins you round and back again. Time is actually my friend, and we need time. I need time. You need time, my friend.
And that was Deborah Crooks. And the name of the song was Time. And I guess that was appropriate because time has passed. It's about 24 hours since I finished the first part of this before the song. Those pizzas were so darn good that I fell asleep in the chair and didn't get to finish the podcast. So, oh well, that's the way it goes. You know, after blowing snow and all that stuff I did yesterday, I was kind of tired. Actually slept till about 9 o'clock last night. Of course, for those of you that don't know, I work night shift, and I was recording that in the morning. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning the following day here, and I got to get working on my video projects, but figured I would finish this podcast off as kind of a update what's going on and why I've not been podcasting as much as normal, but hey, whatever. Once a week usually on this one, and once every once in a while on Mike Dell Unplugged, and the video podcast. You know, it just goes in spurts. You know, I have 2 or 3 one week and none for 2 months, and you know how it goes. And what's up with that? We were going to do that last Friday, but Jim is on a cruise. He was getting ready to go on his cruise, and it just worked out better that we didn't bother with it because I had a couple of appointments and all kinds of crap going on Friday. This week we're not going to do it because Jim's on a cruise. I am going to do Geek of the North, I think, tomorrow, but we'll see. There might be some major changes in my podcasting over at techpodcast.com. I'm not at liberty to say what and how, but might be something fairly interesting happening here shortly with that. But I do plan on keeping something going over there, so go check that out. The Aviation History Podcast over at flightradio.com. I haven't done one in a while, but I am going to get going on that. And hey, what do you know? It's New Year's. Actually, it's not New Year's. As I explained before, I consider my birthday as New Year's. Today is the 20th of January. My birthday's on the 25th. So next Tuesday will be the official start of Mike Dell's New Year, or New Year's Day in Mike Dell's world. How's that for narcissistic? I'm really not that way, but got to name it something. So anyway, I'm not going to waste too much more time here babbling. All I'm going to do is go ahead and announce yet another song. Now, this one's kind of weird. But I think it's really cool. It's Heather Scott, and she's I can't really explain what she does. She plays some sort of a weird wind instrument, and I don't know, I just thought it was kind of cool, and there's some pretty good fiddle playing in there too, so check this out. It's Chocobo, let's see, Chocobo, however you pronounce that. Chocobo Themes, and that's by Heather Scott, and I found that at Aerial Publicity, or Cyber PR. It's aerialpublicity.net is where I find this stuff. If you're interested in it, go over and check that out. I'll have a website address for Heather and all that good stuff. And I know she plays some pretty cool stuff, and like I said, it's weird, so, you know, whatever. Actually, I'm going to let Heather give you the website.
Hi, this is Heather Scott, and you can find me online at youtube.com/user/Heather's Ocarina.
I guess the instrument's called an ocarina. It's kind of a flute-like thing. I'll put a link in the show notes there at MikeDell.com. But yeah, interesting stuff. Never heard of the ocarina. Kind of sounds like people whistling, only more perfect, if that makes any sense. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here, make this kind of a short show, and just let you know that I will be putting out more on all the other feeds, and stand by for some slight adjustments to some of the podcasts. But Mike Dell's World will always be here, and it'll always be kind of the same show about nothing that we've all come to tolerate. Yeah, there we go. Tolerate. That's it. So anyway, I'm going to play one more song going out. So like I said, if you don't want to listen to the music, you can stop it as soon as it starts, because I'm not coming back afterwards. And this will wrap up show number 174. Now my goal is to get to 200 by, let's say July 1st. So hopefully we'll get to the 200 by July 1st. And not that matters much. You know how it goes. And so be sure to check out my sponsors over in the sidebar at MikeDell.com or FlightRadio.com or GeekOfTheNorth.com. Any of those will work. If anything over there interests you, go check it out. And like I said, don't have any podcast sponsors that I've got to read anything about, but there's some cool stuff over there. You got Audible.com, efax.com, and I think Bluehost.com. There we go. But I might have said that in the other the other section there that I recorded on the whatever. Anyway, I'm going to play another Heather Scott thing because, like I said, that ocarina is kind of cool. So this is Heather Scott doing Summertime. And we'll catch you later, and you can catch me later.